And we're live. Okay. So, last week we reviewed The Last Mission. And I think we mentioned at the end of the episode that maybe we would watch The Phantom Rouge. And guess what? We did, and we're reviewing it today. I I guess there was no point in that build up because we're going to title the video The Phantom Rouge, so
Exactly.
uh, quite funny to realize that after saying it. But yeah, the Phantom Rouge. Any initial thoughts from you guys?
I liked it. I mean,
Honestly, yeah.
yeah, um, it was much
In
better than
comparison
the
to the
last
last
mission.
mission,
Uh,
yeah.
um,
I wouldn't say it was amazing, but like in comparison to the last mission, I'd say it was
yeah,
better.
yeah.
What about you, Krepika?
So I will agree, it is better than the last mission. Um, I will say that we'll obviously go into. I'll go into more detail later, but it just seems sort of like a nothing movie where the last mission you can obviously just laugh at. I mean, Phantom Rouge, it's all right. Like aesthetically, it looks nice. I mean, it's like the 2011 animation. Um, Story, I mean, it it was serviceable. I mean, it was understandable. It wasn't that bad, but I mean, there wasn't there was really nothing new in it except for
Yeah,
let's say
Yeah.
the new Nen abilities of let's say the main villain Omokage, and the new city. We love the new city's name. Do you guys remember it?
No.
Shame.
I liked the big rock with a hole in it. New landmark, Pog.
yeah.
Do you remember the name of the city?
uh, Luckily, I have. I think I do, but in order to make sure that I don't look like a total idiot, I'm just making
No,
sure.
you have to say it
Oh,
before you look it up.
um,
Say it.
I think it was like Shuhoi City or something like that. I don't. That's not correct. Let's see.
Oh, why are you looking that up? I think you summed it up perfectly when you said it was kind of a nothing movie. It was kind of just leaning into character arcs that for the main characters, so Gon, Laria, Kurapika, and Killua, leaning into the same character arcs that we see in the anime. That like they weren't really exploring any new ideas. It was just the same thing.
Except for Kurapika,
But
maybe with Pyro, but that was because
yeah,
Togashi
But that was
wrote
written.
the
Yeah, that was
the book for
Togashi
him.
written. No, the backstory is written by Togashi. Everything else was written not by Togashi.
Yeah, the
So
backstory is written by Togashi, and they use
yeah,
that in
Volume
the
Zero.
movie.
But what it is that like the end of like where you know what reminded me like the ending like puppet battle between like Gon Killer versus Puppet Illumi and Kurapika versus Puppet Pyro. It's kind of I saw it as like they're facing their past demons, right?
Yeah,
Kurapika in this thing is like learning to quote unquote move on and just to pursue
yep,
with collecting the eyes. Well, Gon or
yep.
Killua primarily learns that he should just to overcome Illumi's grip on him. Mind you, this movie takes place directly after York New. So what it was is that York New happened. Crollo still has the Nen restriction on him. Kurapika and Leorio left York New, but Gon and Killua also left York New to go to this new city. And this happens before Grid Island as well. So I mean, like with the last mission, canonically it doesn't make sense because as soon as like the York New arc happened, like Gon and Killua still stayed in York New to go to the auction, still get hired to go to Grid Island and then enter Grid Island. Yeah.
So yeah, you're saying like in terms of like the timeline,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the last mission and how it's kind of just shoehorned in to the series like at a really
Yeah.
weird spot, and it just doesn't seem to make sense.
Right.
So yeah, there is that. In terms of like overall, like what would you say? Like commitment to what is there in the characters, like the character arcs for the main characters felt way more solid than the last mission did.
Yes.
Like the last
Yeah.
mission, I feel like didn't have any character arcs at all. Like
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah.
know who developed or like what
No,
what happened. It was
proper-
just like
no proper inner conflicts or anything like that. Like,
yeah. Whereas this, it did have those inner conflicts. So
yeah,
it had at least that, even though like
exactly.
the anime just does them better.
Right. I mean,
Pretty much.
the basis of like the story of, let's say, the original fourth troop member being Omokage, right, and like he steals Kurapika's eyes, and he's trying to steal people's eyes to become the divine puppeteer. I mean, that makes a lot more sense than, let's say, Jed and all. So you know what, this movie came first. It was a demotion in the second movie.
Wow. Okay. I assumed that this movie was the second one because it was better.
No.
So I
No,
feel
this one is
like
the
I
first
thought they were
one.
like they came out in the same year, didn't they?
I have no
I
idea.
looked up the
Oh, never mind.
I looked them up just before.
Yeah,
But,
it's
yeah, I
certainly
think they
a
came out the
step
same
down from the last mission. Is certainly a step down from Rouge, and I mean, did you guys find the date?
For the first mission, the Japanese premiere, I should say. Sorry, not the last mission. No, the Phantom Rouge. It released January 12th, 2013. Let me pull up the last mission really quickly. For the last mission, it came out December 27th of 2013. Oof, same year.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that's
So-
bad.
Yeah. So the English premiere, though, of the last mission, though, fun fact, came out in January 30th, 2019. Over 5 years
Yeah,
after
I
it
saw
released.
that date. I was like, what?
Also,
but it kind of makes sense with the anime dub.
Yeah.
Anime dub was around the same time, I think.
Also, fun facts for the audience. Since I watched the movie beforehand, these gentlemen here decided to watch it in dub. So,
Oh yeah,
English
Yeah.
dub, of course. So, very creative English voice acting. All right. Like, I mean, I think that should be something that we should discuss as well. Considering,
Sure.
I
I
don't just,
I
I
thought
don't know, somewhere
like they
like,
were okay. Like I don't think any of them stood out as like bad to me, so I think they were all a pass from me. What do you think, Gil?
like the voice acting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, they get the job done, but I mean, I'm not a big dubbed fan, so I might be biased. So,
Right. Yeah, sub is probably better. I think
I
in
agree.
terms of like the original anime, sub is better.
I
I
tend to
would-
like the original one more, but I don't know if that's because I don't understand Japanese or. And,
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
wonder the same thing.
yeah,
Yeah, when I see an anime and I really enjoy the sub, and then I see the dub version, and I'm like, it's not as good. I wonder if it's just because I don't understand
yeah.
the sub. But
Right.
like, I don't know. I feel like they just get the emotion like you feel the emotion
Yeah.
through the voice acting, no matter
Right.
the language. So I guess I just feel like the Japanese voice actors are usually better.
So
I don't know.
I have a guilty sin. When I first viewed Hunter x Hunter, I watched it in dub first, not the Chimera Ant arc, or the Election arc, but like the first four. I watched in dub, and I thought it was like it was okay, it was good.
Yeah.
Like I understood it, right? I got to the Chimera Ant arc and the Election arc, and then I rewatched the first four in sub. The dub is very hard to watch now. It is so hard to watch. There are just some characters where it's just, uh, it, I don't know. For Gon's VA, I have nothing against them, uh, but I definitely do think that Gon's Japanese voice actor is superior to the English one. Um, Personally,
Yep, agree.
um, for some reason, Gon's English voice actress or voice actor.
It is a girl. I
Okay,
think.
okay. I would
I
imagine
think it's a
so.
woman.
Yeah, I think it is. Still, it just doesn't hit the same way. If you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
it can sound a bit
It's different.
off, like somewhat
Yeah,
even a bit
exactly.
annoying. Compared to the Japanese, right?
Yeah, sometimes. I found a lot of entertainment value in watching both though, because I felt like the dub was
No, no,
you
the
know,
dub
it
is
was competent enough.
yeah, no, it's not like
It gets the job
it's
done.
it's not the Hunter x Hunter musical dubbed, though. I don't think that exists. Please don't look
I
it up.
think you're
If it's
traumatized by that. Like you keep
What?
bringing it up like it's the worst thing ever. Like, are you okay? Do you need therapy, dude?
no, dude. I mean,
Do
the
you want to
Hunter x
talk
Hunter,
about it?
the and the Nightmare of Zoldyck. I watched that on my own free will for 2 hours. No one came up to my Discord watch party. It was a very sad moment, but I
Dude,
think
that's just depressing. You should have
I
like pinged someone. I don't know.
I didn't want to bother anyone, man. But anyway, the point is, I did not want to bring anybody else into my.
Your suffering is your own.
Yes, I was that night. I was sort of a masochist, bring on the pain. But anyway, so that's the point.
Damn.
The Hunter.
I feel like we should watch the musical now.
Yes,
we're watching-
after
we're
this
watching
conversation.
We're watching A Nightmare of Zoldyck, or whatever it's called. We were watching it, even though it's in 480p. I'm not even lying. Like that's
I
the
might
best
need
quality you
alcohol
can
for
find
that.
it.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
what it
you're
is-
you're a warrior, Graphica. I mean, you watched Phantom. You watched the Rouge movie. You watched Last Mission. You watched
Both the musicals.
musical, and you're gonna watch it a second time. I mean, you watched the movies 2 times.
But
Yeah,
but
I
what it
mean,
is that the musical is
respect.
better than both the movies. Actually, it's better than The Last Mission after watching this with you guys. I think the Phantom Rouge beats the
Really?
musical a little bit.
Oh,
Bro,
okay.
the music. No, the
Interesting.
Nightmare of Zoldyck is better than The Last Mission. The fucking 2000 musical from the year 2000 is better, in my personal opinion. I can't believe
Wow.
I'm saying that. That just shows you
That's
how
in
bad
a way
The Last Mission
surprising.
is. Like
Yeah,
live action
yeah.
anime is better than a fully animated original story.
Yeah, it goes to show. I mean, if you don't get the things right, like doesn't matter how much
Very
money
basic
or
things.
like work you put into it, it's not gonna be entertaining if it's just not
Yeah.
made right.
I agree. But yeah,
For
to answer your-
stories, I mean, like if the theater piece has like, I don't know, do you think it had like a good story? At least it had comedic value, I imagine. that the show that the last mission doesn't have, because it's like it has to take itself more seriously, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
the theater play, it's not taking itself super seriously. It's like,
No, the voice actors. Since the voice actors of the 1999 anime play like their actual characters, so like
yeah,
Hisako was Hisako, Gon was Gon, etc. I mean, they were just looked like they were having fun. I mean,
yeah.
but also I will say the
That sounds
choreography was
awesome.
good. Like the choreography is definitely passable in my opinion. It was entertaining to watch.
Cool.
Though I mean, it
I'm
is a
excited to
musical
watch
for a
this.
reason. I mean, there's singing. Oh, that's also where Hisako's dance comes from. You guys know that. We've all seen it. Like, how could you not see it by this point?
Yeah, probably. I've seen it probably as like a meme or something.
It is the best choreography I've ever seen.
And no, we will not edit a GIF of Hisoko dancing over the podcast. Go look it up. Don't be lazy.
You know what? I'll do the editing for it. That is how much we need it.
No, we already put enough effort in just creating the thing, just talking about this stuff. The viewer can go look it up. Probably sitting at their computer right now, like hunched back in their chair. Dude, lean forward and use the keyboard for like 2 seconds.
I promise you won't regret it. I mean, I'm still alive to talk about it.
All right, so I feel like we got a bit off topic with the musical stuff.
That's all right.
Is there anything else that we can like
So,
talk about with the Phantom Rouge?
I have to say, with the character arcs, as you guys have said, it basically rehashed them. I felt like because at this point, I actually looked it up. Volume 32. So basically, the end of the election arc was published when this movie came out. So there's no reason for people to not know of, let's say, Gon's character arc or Kyo's character arc, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, yes, the 2011 anime, it was not done. It didn't record the election arc. It probably didn't show Chimera. I don't know. If you really want to know, look that up. But what it is that there's no real reason why people should not know unless they haven't like read it or seen it somehow. But even if you've only seen like a certain part or read a certain part of the anime, you can basically get a general understanding of like who is who, or like what kind of personality a certain character has. I mean, you could just use Hisako's personality test. Like, Gon is an enhancer. They're simple-minded and determined. There you go.
I think maybe
That is
they
gone.
didn't add like Gon's kind of backstory or kind of arc into the movie. This is just my speculation, but maybe it's due to the fact that there's already two characters that kind of have their own arcs, and adding a third character might be too much.
Right.
Yeah, no, this movie couldn't fit like a Gon breakdown arc.
Exactly.
That sounds pretty funny, actually.
At least we did not get like a whole Gon-san moment part 2 in this movie. Though we did get the power.
Yeah,
of
I felt like it would have been ripping it way too hard.
we did get the power
We
of
did
friendship
get it in
technically.
the last mission. We did
Yeah.
get his God moment in the last mission, so I guess in a way they did it.
We did it.
Yeah, kind of in a way,
Yeah. Even if it was like really badly made, but they still did it.
Right.
Yeah, no, there was no emotional impact with the last missions thing. I just couldn't care less about that.
We keep going back to how bad the last
I
mission
did
was.
feel like, at least like I was engaged to some level throughout this movie. Like I wasn't falling asleep in the climax like the last one. Like, you know, some moments had me asking questions, but they managed to like kind of pull it together logically. You know, they were able to keep keep their riding boots on throughout the entire movie. I feel like they were
Yeah.
able to kind of string things together. But even like after that, man, it's just still like not good enough.
Right.
Like just
Yeah.
rehashing the main characters just isn't going to cut it. It isn't going to
don't-
make it like an enjoyable standalone movie.
But don't
For
forget,
real.
it's the problem of having a movie, especially a non-canon movie, right? For like Omokage or Rets, they had to kill them off because if they
Yeah.
survived, then that would prompt at least a sequel. I mean,
Yeah, it has to be
Not
fairly
necessarily.
short.
you know what I mean. Like
I
either
totally
leave
get
it
what you
on a
mean.
cliffhanger
An
no
hour
one
and a
cares
half,
about, or
like they have 1 hour and a half to do certain things. It has
Exactly.
to be like short.
it could be. With creating these movies, it seems like there's like somewhat of a checklist instead of creative passion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
it
like,
does feel like a
alright,
checklist
like,
kind of thing.
Already, some gone character development, gone screen time check, kill screen time check. Also, can I not just say that when I originally saw like the poster for the Phantom Rouge, I was like, oh wait, is this gonna be like a movie or like a lot about like that had like a lot of Kurapika involvement? Like he was actually like running around doing shit. No, it wasn't that. It was Gon and Killua trying to help find Omokage to steal his eyes, and just Kurapika staying in bed saying "I see" whenever Omokage does something. I mean, that's literally where the best moment in Hunter x Hunter history started from. I see.
Yeah, I mean, TikTok really has kind of latched onto that one, I feel like. So maybe it's like a good
wait, that's
thing
on TikTok?
that this movie happened.
Wait, that's on TikTok.
Yeah,
oh, okay. It's no
it's a
longer
meme,
cool.
right? So
Oh, it's no longer cool.
it's like part
Damn.
of the spread of Hunter. So yeah, I feel like even though there's like cringe memes, if they're spreading the word of Hunter, I don't mind. These kids,
Fair.
they need to have good anime in their life. They can't be watching these crappy shonens.
Yeah,
They
we're
gotta
getting
have
Naruto.
like it's like the father figure as an anime. That's what Hunter is. Like they need that in their life. Do you
Right.
guys get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. But I mean, it's like
They can't be growing up on these black clovers and fairy tales. Oh, God forbid fairy tale.
well, it could just be this. It could be seen as there's such thing as bad publicity.
True.
Like
yeah.
that saying can be applied here.
I wonder if anybody's watched the Hunter movies who hasn't like watched the Hunter series.
I mean,
Like-
no, in the world, there's definitely that. Like, someone has definitely done that. Like, probably some like
Probably like cinema goers, right?
no, I would
Possible,
imagine this, right? It'd probably be some like random 12-year-old. And it's Christmas, right? Their dad's like, "Hey, I know you really like cartoons." Gives them Hunter
Yeah.
x the Phantom Rouge. The son's like, "Okay, thanks, Dad."
Something
What is
like that.
this?
Hey, son, I thought you said like those Japanese cartoons.
Honestly, I can imagine it.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
I feel like the most people like exposed who haven't seen the series would be like family members of people who like the series and then go to like movie premieres or
Right.
something. Not premieres, but movie releases.
well, so fun
I feel
fact.
like that would be like
So
the
fun
extended
fact.
audience. Anyway, yeah, go.
That example that I just gave, that actually not at that age, but that actually happened to me when I was younger. Where I was not really an anime watcher, right? But I got the movie Princess Mononoke just randomly for Christmas.
Great movie.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a good
Based.
movie.
Which movie?
Princess Mononoke.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I basically the one time I got like an anime movie or whatever, because I'm not really an anime watcher, I got a good one. So props.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
pretty
lucky.
lucky getting that one.
Yeah.
I mean, most Ghibli movies are pretty amazing. So
They are, yeah.
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 Man, can you imagine like a Ghibli take on Hunter? Ooh.
Nice. Imagine
Interesting.
that. Yeah.
Actually, do they mix? Because Ghibli movies, they usually rely on like very loose kind of fantastical elements that aren't really explained that much. It's more focused on like the characters and their emotions, and then like
Dark
creating an
Continent
emotional
art
journey.
by Ghibli.
So it'd be like a combination of those two things. You'd need, somebody handling the logic and then somehow combining that with like the fantastical kind of loose storytelling of a Ghibli movie. Yeah, I wonder how that would turn out.
I would love that, man. It would be awesome.
Yeah, at least like the animators on like
Well,
a Hunter story. Oh,
yeah, or at least it sounds awesome in theory, because we already know what happened with the 2 other Hunter x Hunter movies.
Yeah. God, just give me something unique.
As long as Togashi writes it, we're fine. That's literally all we need to do. True.
True.
But I mean, of course, Togashi is dealing with some chronic back pain. Nothing against him. He should rest. I think, didn't we cover this in a different episode? Point is,
I'm sure we've like covered the back pain.
Yeah. Point is, that would be interesting. Even though I have no idea what the fuck you were talking about.
Dude, you just need to watch more Ghibli movies, man. Studio Ghibli is the studio that created Princess Mononoke. They've created like, dude, you need to watch Mononoke again, and then you need to watch Studio Ghibli's catalog of movies. They're all like similar levels of quality, all just really, really, really fun.
Anime.
Highly recommend. They're kind of, there's going to be like some anime-esque elements in there, but they're like way above anime in terms of like quality. Like I'd watch a Ghibli movie over most anime any day.
Okay. I'll have to consider it then.
Just a small thing.
Oh?
Just a small thing. It's kind of like a side rant, but I was thinking about it, and I don't think I'm like an anime fan. Like most anime, I find like really cringe or like even like gross. Like just like bad. So,
so
I don't know. Am I an anime fan? Like I only like a couple.
So for me personally, I've talked about it with people, but just for some context, I do not watch anime or read manga. I don't do anything associated with Japanese cartoons outside of Hunter x Hunter. Like Naruto, the fuck is that? Like the ripoff of Hunter x Hunter, JoJo. The funny 2 JoJo memes that I just see people spamming. Like Demon Slayer. What's Demon Slayer? Like I have no idea about anything. It's just Hunter x Hunter is like the one gemstone, the one exception. Basically, like the chosen one.
Yeah, I was gonna say a true Hunter x Hunter fan.
Exactly. A true Hunter x Hunter fan knows that Naruto's a ripoff.
Born to save us from the hiatus.
Which, by the way, I'm predicting it. It's ending soon. I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it in my pajingas. It's ending soon.
Nice.
So okay.
I trust your energies.
You say, all right. You need to radiate that energy to all Hunter x Hunter fans and to Togashi. You know what, Togashi?
Everybody watching this podcast right now, I don't care if you're driving. Put up your hands and extend your energy out to Togashi. We need to lend him our power.
I'm doing that right now.
He needs our energy, guys.
You might have
10 more chapters.
You might just have killed a bunch of people driving.
You know what? Their souls will produce so much energy, so much aura.
Dude, yeah, Nen after death. Dude, you're not thinking straight.
Yeah, Gil,
their energy is going to become stronger.
Gil, are you even a true fan?
That was really dark.
Yeah.
We love it.
I have an answer to my question earlier, the question I asked myself, am I an anime fan? I would say yes, because when I think of like what an anime is, part of it's like the tropes that we see over and over again, which I'm definitely not a fan of. I hate them. But I think the main appeal of anime is like the kind of similar style they all share.
Yeah.
They all have like the way they like design characters and animate the characters and stuff like
yeah.
that, which I think I am a fan of that.
Okay.
So yes, I think I am like an anime fan, just like in a love-hate relationship kind of thing.
You're a fan of the art and the creativeness, but you're not really a fan of like the tropes and like a lot of the stories. Is that like what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
What
I
are
don't
the
really.
just to get back to the Phantom Rouge?
Oh, sorry.
What are the things you guys liked about the movie?
Okay.
Yeah, good question.
It makes somewhat some sense.
The rock with the hole in it.
All right.
The what?
I'm kidding. Actually, no, I'm not kidding. The rock with the hole in it was really, really beautifully designed. Okay.
Yeah.
There were some great landscape paintings in that movie.
Oh yeah. Not even joking around here. Some of like it was really well drawn, like beautiful animation. I mean, like the sunset.
That sunrise, or no, it was the sunset. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
sweet.
Favorite, like any new characters that stand out, like Omakage or
Omakage is kind of a beta male. The train is the best character. Yes,
Omakage is a beta.
All right. We need to have an entire segment dedicated to the train. I'm saying it right now. It needs to happen.
A beautiful chaos factor, like in terms of like character functionality. Like the train really ramped up the stakes. Like when he was like the scene he's such an effective character. He only had like a minute of screen time. Okay, the minute he was introduced, the tension of the scene rose dramatically because he was putting another character in danger instantly. That's incredible writing if you think about it. In terms of like efficiency of like screen time and like the effectiveness of the character. Man, if these people haven't seen the movie, they're going to be like, what the hell is this guy talking about?
So
a train?
Okay, so I saw an edit of the train that made him look like Thomas. I'm trying to find it.
Oh my. Oh, that's perfect.
Yes, I will send it to you guys if I can find it. Please. No, I know someone who sent it, and I'm not going to be able to find it though. No. It's going to be impossible to find. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it. No, maybe we'll just put it up and edit it, and like I'll send it to you guys later.
Things I liked about the movie, I like to see some of the fight scenes, like Illumi fighting. Like that was interesting to me, like how they imagined him fighting, like throwing those super fast punches and kind of crouching up. I think that was funny. Also seeing
I totally agree.
Those were like some moments I liked to see, and because I think that also the animation quality was better than the last mission overall.
I agree.
I feel like that. Yeah,
they were nice. It was really nice to see like Hisoka fight them because. And Illumi, because they're not characters we usually see fight. Same, well, Phantom Troop, well, they kind of
showed up at the end,
but and see Nobunaga fight also, that was interesting. Even if the fights weren't like super interesting by themselves, but just seeing the animation was cool.
Yeah, I agree.
And what else did I like?
I'm trying to think of that.
Okay, so do you guys want to talk about Omakage's Hatsu?
Sure.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, I think that was a rather defining nen ability for the movie, I should say.
Way better than just sticking on a new power system. Like they actually thought of like, okay, what's a nen ability that fits in a system that's there.
I mean, it is an original nen ability. Like I have to give them credit for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
concept was pretty cool. I liked the concept.
basically stealing a person's eyes, so that way you can create basically a doll or a puppet. I mean, it's a
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how it worked.
oh my
Kind
god.
of missed that part, I think.
It was very unbalanced. Like they didn't really dig deep
Okay.
enough into like the restrictions
Yeah.
of it. Like
Yeah,
it was way too overpowered to
I'm
just
pulling it
be
up
like
right now just
you
to
know.
make sure. Okay,
Okay,
so
yeah, that's
From
what
what
I thought as
yeah,
well.
have Kurapika read it out. And
okay,
get
so
a
the
full
conditions in
explanation.
performing Soul Doll, which is basically okay, let me just see. So the conditions: Omokage's doll must be adjacent to the target while that person is thinking of someone. When the doll is adjacent to the target, it will turn into that person that the target is thinking about. The real person of whom the doll is based cannot feel or notice this without actually being there. Oh yeah, so basically, but then he has this really OP, OP, but thing called Soul Call and Doll Catcher. So in the movie, at the end, it was revealed that Omokage created puppets out of his favorite 6 or 7 Phantom Troop members, right? So people like Phaeton, Chrollo, Finks, Franklin, Shalnark, Machi, etc., right? And so what it was is that went to defend himself from Kurapika's chains. Omokage used his one of his hatsus called Soul Call, Doll Catcher, which is basically he absorbed the puppets back into himself. Like he collected their nen, and that with that he was actually allowed to use their hatsus. So, for example, since he collected Franklin's doll, his nen, he was able to use double machine guns, right? To basically used Franklin's ability. Yeah, exactly. So right, and then with let's say defending Chain Jailer originally, he then used Nobunaga's deflection to basically make sure that Chain Jailer couldn't hit him. Right. He then used Finks to punch someone off, or to block kill or something like that, right? And with that, that is basically Doll Catcher. So Call is when he is how he steals a person's eyes, and then there's a whole
he uses an empty doll, and you have to walk up to the person and then look into their eyes with the eyeless doll, and it yoinks their eyes or something, right?
Yeah, the Soul Doll. There's an entire Bible about it. Unless you guys really want me to read the abilities of it, I won't go too much into it.
Weird.
I think we got the main gist of it.
Yeah,
I felt being able to use the hatsus of people that you were turning into dolls was way too overpowered. There's no restriction for that huge addition.
It's like Skill Hunter or Bent or Krolos, but but this was before Bookmark was a thing. So what it was is that manga spoiler. Chrollo comes up with the ability to circumvent his restriction of only being able to use one stolen nen ability at a time. So yeah, that's basically what Bookmark does. But this was before then, so he still only had the restriction. That was even when Chrollo had the nen restriction on him from Judgment Chain. But yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty OP, like you say, and he's able to absorb the puppets or something into him and emit them as some kind of puppet ghosts or something.
Yeah, use
and
their abilities.
Use the abilities like that as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So imagine,
too OP.
If he somehow, let's say, got Netero, for example. I know this will never happen, but what if he got Netero and he's able to use the 100 type Guanabin Bodhisattva? How broken would that be?
Yeah, exactly.
Without having to go with 100 years of training, or the insane amount of aura and just precision that it requires. He could just feel okay, guys, I'm gonna use the 100 type going up in bow stuff. Plus, I can use 2 other abilities as well. Like, that's pretty dope, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, to give them to, I will say, in Devil's Advocate, they didn't really have to fully explain it, considering that they were going to die anyways, just to have the movie end. So it wouldn't really have made a difference, really.
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of a
story-wise.
nitpick.
Yeah, but I mean, it would be interesting for, let's say, fans like us to actually know, like, the full conditions and abilities of Omokage, even though we'll never see him again.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I guess stealing the eyes is something, but that's not powerful enough of a condition to meet the other criteria. Or like
I don't
to
think he would
meet the other, like to.
I don't think he needs the eyes in order to actually create the dolls, because you saw like the Phantom Troop members, right? The original members still had their eyes. I think the eyes have something else to do with it.
Yeah, you don't need to steal. You don't need to steal the exact person's eyes.
Yeah.
You just need somebody to have like the memory of that person, which is even more OP, by the way.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, it's just a pretty weak condition. I mean.
Yeah.
He has to create the puppets somehow. Does that mean he has some sort of emotions with the puppet or something like that act as a sort of condition? Or
I don't know, but I mean, his sister Retz was basically his first test subject, and due to his technique not being perfected, Retz died and lost her eyes.
Right, yeah.
So maybe, like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there had to be, like, some kind of emotional attachment to it.
Yeah, some kind of attachment to the puppets he creates. But even that's not enough. Like, to be able to steal the abilities and use the abilities and everything. I mean, look at Crollo. Like, he has to do a bunch of things before he's able to steal the ability and store it.
Yep. And he's only able to use them one at a time, and that's only when he has the book in his hand, open to that page.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a whole lot of different stuff.
It is.
Right.
And Crollo is supposed to be like
broken as fuck.
Like
he's busted. Even
genius. So basically,
I mean, with Crollo's book, it also depends on what abilities are inside the book at what time, right? I mean, his abilities of, let's say, like Neon Nostra, it's like, like fortune telling ability, and let's say having like the indoor fish, it's completely different from let's say having sun and moon, black voice, gallery fake, etc. Like, it's completely different. Because since Crollo is so intelligent, he can just like with the Hisoka and Crollo fight, he had so much time to prepare. He knew exactly how to defeat Hisoka. So depending on the situation, I think he would bring different abilities. That's the thing with Crollo. Yeah. It's hard to exactly limit, like, to have like an imaginary fake fight with him, because you also have to consider like what abilities does he have in his book.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I think the most interesting way you could have Crollo's book ability function within a story is to either state which abilities he has in there from the start and limit them to like a few abilities. So the viewer knows what abilities are in the book when the character is acting in scenes. Because then it's not like a matter of, what ability are they going to pull out next to save their ass? It's going to be like, what instead it's going to be how are they going to use the abilities in there to get out of this situation. And you know, it engages the viewers as opposed to like as opposed to kind of like pissing them off and being like, oh well, the writer can just like make up whatever and then put it in the book, you know.
Right.
So
let's say
there's that element.
I guess the other side to that is that you lose kind of the mystery surrounding the character.
Right.
Like
it's a really weird balance.
True. Yeah. There's that's very true. Like as a villain, there is like an element of
mystery.
This character could do anything. Like if he can get anybody's abilities, like he's capable of like so much destruction. So there is that flip side to it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we're gonna, let's say, for example, when Krollo fought Zeno and Silva, he had indoor fish. No, he didn't have indoor fish because the user died. He had Fun Cloth, which belonged to the owl. He had Neon Nostrad's ability, I believe, at that point. The thing was that we don't know enough, like, what else he could have had in the book, because first off, he never used anything else. He was just basically waiting out the time. Second off, considering that he's basically been running around the world with the Phantom Troop for at least over a decade, who knows how many abilities and what abilities are in there. Probably there's a lot of abilities that we will never know of, like we can't even imagine, right? Because there's just an infinite possibilities. So
that to what we were talking about earlier with Krollo being like a villain and then like feeling like a sense of like worry and danger, like, oh, what abilities could he pull out in this moment versus what I was explaining before, like knowing the abilities that he has in his book and then being engaged, like, okay, how does this character get out of the situation? It's like it's two it'd be used in like two different viewpoints, I feel like. So the villain viewpoint would be the mystery component, you know, not knowing what's in the book. And then I feel like maybe even like an underdog role would be sort of like, okay, you know what's in the book. How are they going to use what's in the book to get out of the situation that they're in? And I'm wondering if we're going to kind of get that underdog situation in the boat. Because, you know, Hisoka's going to be hunting them down. It could be like a total... what would you say? You know, like the whole Alien type movie, you know, characters getting taken out one by one.
Oh yeah.
You know, Tagashi's like a fan of that. I feel like he might do something like that with this, with Hisoka killing the Phantom Troop members.
It's like with
I wonder if Krollo's gonna take more of like an underdog position in the story, and I wonder if we will know the abilities in his book.
So with Corto, like, I mean, when Corto B is killed, I mean, there's a whole drawing of us saying 10 more to go with like a picture of the spider.
Yep. So
to give that like immediate sense of danger or suspense. I mean, honestly, with the ship, I can definitely see that being a possibility. I think personally, based on what we've seen so far, the only person that can truly stop him is either that can stop Hisoka is either Krollo or Illumi. I think that Hisoka is more powerful than most of the other Phantom Troop.
Hard to say, yeah.
I think Phaeton could kill him.
The thing with Phaeton is that if he were to use like the pain packer that we saw in the Chimera Ant arc, he would just submerge everyone because they're in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Yeah,
he can't use it. It's not like a big open space on land. No, they're in the middle of the water on a ship. Basically, if he uses that, then it just means everyone else's death. Alright, that means the princes, unless there's like escape boats, but even then, the escape boats won't do anything because it's a literal explosion. Like, I mean, Bonolenov can't use Jupiter on the Black Whale. Well, most likely, unless he, dramatically makes it smaller. But then again, it would lose effectiveness. right? If there's anything relating to, let's say, changing like air or like fire, anything dealing with like heavy amounts of the elements, they're screwed. Like it's limiting. But the thing with Hisoka's bungee gum or texture surprise is that it's so adaptive it can actually work in that environment. But going on the Black Whale, and the Phantom Troop have, in my opinion, has greatly restricted themselves. Because we're not going to talk about the civilians because obviously they don't care about innocent people's lives. Alright? If the Black Whale were to go down, and they if they couldn't get to like an escape boat or just able to get out of the area in time for, let's say, Pain Packer, Jupiter, etc., they're toast. They would just kill themselves.
Yeah.
In which Krollos...
Actually, I wonder if that'd hold them back at all. Because I think they know that the top level boat, if the big section of the whale starts to sink, there's like that little boat at the top that can still sail off.
Right.
And I think they know that the treasure is up there as well. Or like at least they have an inclination that it is. Would they care if they destroyed the whole underbelly of the whale? If their goal was to get the treasure in the top of the boat, wouldn't they just like fight their way to the top boat and like take it for themselves? Wouldn't that just be their escape plan?
They're working with the mafia, with one of the mafias right now, so I mean, that's definitely a possibility, and I did forget about that, but still, I mean, but don't forget, especially when they make themselves known, if they start fighting, they don't know that Kurapika's on board. The chain user is on board. Like, they're basically one of the main people that could stop them, that could stop Krollo, is on board. They don't know that. Kurapika doesn't know that. As soon as they start fighting, their cover is blown. Alright? Kurapika's going to forget about Wobble, most likely. And maybe even Suridnik. He's going to go after them. Possibly.
Would Mizai Storm notify Kurapika if
he's actually been debating that.
On the ship?
He's actually debating that. He knows that they're on the ship. So from chapter 390, it's on a standstill.
Wait, he knows?
He knows. He's debating on whether he should tell them or not. He's basically thinking to himself, if I tell him, nothing's going to stop him. He's just going to go in there and try to kill them. So Strom actually knows of the Phantom Troop's presence on the Black Whale.
A thing
that
came to my mind. You remember the protection system the whale had, right? For the princess going out, and the whole like system that's powered by the dead princess or whatever. We don't know what that is exactly, but I think.
Oh yeah, the weird machine.
Would it be possible, like, if the whale is maybe protected in some way against like high Nen warfare, like what the Phantom Troop is capable of? What do you think of that? Like,
a possibility that it is, sure. Yeah. Like, there's already like the weird force that comes and kills the princes if they try to escape. There might be some kind of like arena protection that stops the boat from sinking.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's something like that.
Hard to say.
I'm willing to consider it a possibility for sure.
I mean, fair. I mean, it is the succession war of the Kakin Empire. They don't want, the warfare, like the possible warfare, to become so extreme that all possible heirs die. I could definitely see that being a possibility.
I feel like it would be or would have been discovered already though, right? Like there's got to be like somebody who's like destroyed a wall or two or something. Or like destroyed something.
What do you mean by a wall?
Like some kind of indication.
It depends on like what type of wall.
Like if you are wanting to preserve like the insides of the ship, for instance, like the pillar supports, you know, like floors connecting, like if there's like levels very close to each other, you know, like the roof of somebody is the
Right.
floor of somebody else, you know, those
Isn't-
kinds of things will
Yeah.
be protected. I
Isn't
assume.
there isn't that in each prince's like section, like their own like private quarters? Isn't there like some kind of Nen barrier, or is that just for like one of them? Because I remember like there being like
There's that one Nen beast that
Yeah.
created like
Oh,
a Nov
that-
room.
Jesus
It
Christ.
depends on the Nen beasts. Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
read the Succession War again sometime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always fun catching up on that.
I've
It's
read
It's
it.
that the kid with the hamster. He has the big fat dragon thing.
Dude, I forget. I'm sorry.
I've read it like 3 or 4 times, and I still don't remember most of the details.
I've read it once.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's rough.
there's
Luckily,
lot
I have a
of
really
stuff.
good memory, and I understand. I
Yeah,
have a
you
good
do.
comprehension. So, luckily,
I do not.
I'm surviving.
Yeah, I feel like you've kind of fit that role really nicely on the podcast. Like you're able to like recall so many details, and it's very, very useful for discussion.
Thank you.
For real.
I mean, I don't mind being that guy. It makes it so that way I'm not just, you know, at least I'm doing something other than just talking.
Damn, now I feel bad for just talking.
No. You aren't you gonna
Okay,
do like
let's
the-
not turn this into a pity party. Okay. Honestly, that we're at a pretty good point in terms of like time spent discussing.
Yeah.
Like it's almost an hour. Any like closing thoughts on what we've talked about today?
Phantom Rouge decent. The last mission bad.
Oh yeah. Out of 10, what would
Oh, of
you
course.
say? What would you give the Phantom Rouge?
Dub, right?
And
I
do a
would- I would
yeah,
give-
dub, whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He was just specifying the sub or dub. I don't really care. Just like the movie in general. What score would you give it?
I would give it a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, pretty fair. What about you, Kurapika?
Now we've discussed a lot. We have
We have.
thought a lot. We watched this with blood, tears, and effort. I think I would rate this like a 5.7 out of 10.
Wow, very specific. That's slightly above average as well, which is very interesting.
Dub, actually. It takes away 0.3 because it's dub. If it was sub, it would be a 6. So, that's my opinion, at least. Anyway,
I think it. Okay, so it was a pretty like average movie throughout. Like it was like good enough. It was a movie, right? They had
Yeah.
character development. They had all the basic components and stuff.
Very basic.
On that, I would give it a 5, but the character developments like weren't original to the movies. Like there wasn't much originality at all with the movies. Like they weren't really adding much to it. So for that, I'm detracting a whole point and putting it at a 4. But that still beats the last mission. The last mission was really, really, really boring.
a 2 out of 10.
What did I give it last time? Did I say a 3?
You said
I might
3 out of
demote
10.
it to a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I might demote it to a 2 and then give the Phantom Rouge a 4.
Alright.
Yeah,
So,
that's my final answer.
5.7.
All right. Well, there you have it.
Indeed.
All right. I think that's a great spot to end it then.
Yeah.
Very well.
Guys, comment your thoughts on the Phantom Rouge movie. Give it a score. Leave comments about like the specifics of the movie. If we missed anything, if there was anything that you liked, if you would give it a score above a 5, why? Comment all that stuff. Would I don't know. Does Hisoka kill everybody on the boat? Does Hisoka kill the Phantom Troop on the boat or not? Comment your thoughts on that as well. And with that, let's end it there. Thanks for watching, guys.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.